Welcome back to 3D Cars, where we bring you the most exciting rides, the wildest rumors, and the purest expressions of automotive passion. Today, we're diving into something that has the entire muscle car community buzzing: the possible return of the legendary Ford Mustang Boss 429 in 2026. This isn't just any nameplate, this is a badge forged in the golden era of American performance, a symbol of brute force, and a reminder of when displacement and attitude ruled the streets. And if the whispers are true, Ford might be about to drop one of the most powerful, most aggressive Mustangs we've ever seen. For those new to the legend, the Boss 429 first appeared in 1969 as a homologation special for NASCAR. Ford had to produce road-going versions to qualify the massive 429 cubic-inch semi-Hemi V8 for racing, and what they built became an instant icon. Only 1,359 units were ever made, each one hand-fitted to cram that monstrous engine under the hood. The original cars were rated at 375 horsepower on paper, but anyone who's driven one knows the truth, they made far more than that. Over 50 years later, the Boss 429 name still sends chills down the spine of muscle car fans. Fast forward to 2026, and the rumors are swirling. Sources claim Ford has been toying with the idea of reviving the Boss 429 as a modern halo car for the Mustang lineup, positioned above the already potent dark horse and potentially rivaling even the next-generation Shelby GT500. The talk is of a wide-body stance, flared fenders, aggressive aero, and hood scoops big enough to swallow small birds. The kind of muscular, intimidating design that doesn't just suggest performance, it promises it before you even turn the key. Under the hood, the speculation is even juicier. A supercharged V8 is the most common rumor, with output potentially north of 700 horsepower. Imagine that, Ford dropping a street-legal monster with the kind of performance that could make European exotics sweat. The transmission choices could be equally exciting: a 6-speed manual for the purists and a lightning-fast 10-speed automatic for those who want every fraction of a second on the drag strip. With advanced launch control, adaptive drive modes, and possibly even a drift setting, this would be a machine capable of being both a daily cruiser and a weekend warrior. Inside, expect a balance of modern tech and motorsport focus. Think Recaro racing seats with suede inserts, a flat-bottom steering wheel with performance mode toggles, a fully digital instrument cluster with customizable layouts, and a center touchscreen loaded with telemetry data, track timers, and G-force readouts. Premium materials like carbon fiber, brushed aluminum, and contrast stitching could make the cabin feel special, while still screaming performance from every angle. Of course, performance is more than just horsepower. Ford would need to make sure the Boss 429 can handle all that power with confidence. That means a reinforced chassis, upgraded Magnaride suspension for adaptive handling, and massive Brembo brakes clamping down on cross-drilled rotors. Lightweight forged wheels wrapped in ultra-sticky performance tires would ensure maximum grip, while the exhaust system would need to deliver the kind of soundtrack that turns heads from blocks away. Expect a deep, thunderous idle that builds into an angry roar under load, a proper muscle car symphony. On the outside, Ford could easily lean into heritage-inspired design cues. Classic color options like Grabber Blue, Wimbledon White, and Competition Orange could make a return, along with bold, Boss 429 inches graphics along the sides. The hood scoops would be functional, feeding cool air into the hungry V8, while a rear spoiler and functional diffuser would keep things planted at high speeds. It's the kind of styling that doesn't just look fast, it looks ready to devour the competition. In terms of market positioning, the 2026 Boss 429 would sit as the crown jewel of the Mustang lineup. Above the EcoBoost, above the GT, above the Dark Horse, and even possibly above the Shelby models depending on how Ford decides to market it. Pricing would likely reflect its exclusivity, making it a collector's item the moment it hits showrooms. And just like the original, production numbers might be kept low to maintain that sense of rarity and desirability. Now, it's worth noting that as of now, Ford hasn't officially confirmed any of this. These are still rumors, leaks, and whispers from the inside. But the fact that the Boss 429 name has been popping up in filings and enthusiast forums is enough to set the internet on fire. The Mustang name is already carrying a lot of weight in Ford's performance portfolio, and bringing back a legend like the Boss would be a bold move. A reminder that even in an age of electrification, there's still room for raw, unapologetic gasoline-fueled excitement. Picture this: you're standing in a dimly lit garage. You see the wide stance, the sculpted hood, the Boss 429 inches lettering catching the light. You climb in, the seat hugs you tight, your hand grips the shifter or the paddle. You press the start button, and the V8 wakes up with a bark that rattles your chest. You ease out onto the street, roll onto the throttle, and in an instant, the world blurs into a tunnel of speed and sound. That's not just driving, that's living history, reborn for a new era. Whether it's fact or fantasy right now, the thought of a 2026 Ford Mustang Boss 429 is enough to make enthusiasts dream big. And if Ford really does it, if they really bring back this legend, we might just be looking at one of the greatest muscle cars of the modern age. That's it for today's deep dive here on 3D Cars. If you love the idea of the Boss 429 making a comeback, smash that like button, subscribe for more gearhead goodness, and tell us in the comments, what would you want to see in a modern Boss? More power, more heritage, or a perfect mix of both? Until next time, keep your eyes on the road, your hands on the wheel, and your heart racing.